Welcome back to Luck Management Podcast. And we got a Bro Dog episode. We got the Loesch Bros
Let's
in the
go.
house. And an episode for the ages. Some of you Luck Management listeners from the beginning might know Roger Loesch. Roger Loesch Jr. has been on the podcast before for a very limited amount of time. But he's back. He's better than ever, and he's got a Notre Dame degree. RJ, welcome to the show.
Hey, Carter, thank you. Thank you. Last time I was on, I was before my time at Notre Dame. I was visiting you in your time during Notre Dame, and I remember recording in the Duncan podcast studio. That was a lot of fun.
The Duncan studio, man. It reigns true. I miss that place. They had all the setup. They had everything that you could need. Those were great times. And that was in the moments of you saying, I'd like to go to Notre Dame. Man, how things changed. Life has changed.
Early on, yeah, man. I guess I had applied and got in December, and then May of last year, Corinne and I moved. My fiance now and I moved up South Bend for the year.
Yeah.
Incredible year. I did the 1 year program, right? So it was like an intense summer, then 2 semesters. And, it was a tough year for the job market. A lot of our cohort or people in our class, there were 36 of them, and only, I think, 7 of us ended up getting full-time jobs. So I was a part of that lucky 20%. Yeah. So started my job this week.
I said 2 for 2 on the Loesch's. Like, when I went and when I got out, I got my job too. There's no persistence, dude. All these young kids out there, they don't understand. Go get a job.
Gotta grind. You gotta grind. Some people just don't get it, you know?
Go get a job.
Go get a job. Like, my focus went from school to applying for jobs every day during class, for that last mod. And it just ended up turning out okay. So I'm really happy.
I think that's one thing that, like, us, as we went a little bit more mature in our age, I mean, you being 3 years older and going into that MBA program where sometimes you get people that are also working, so kind of around that same age, but I had people that were much younger than I am. And they're like, oh, it's just another year of college. It's like, no, the reason why you're being sent to this place is to get that job. Like, yeah. Maybe go to a few games, sure. Maybe there's a couple of families out there where it really doesn't matter. Like, I'll end up on my 2 feet. Like, I'll be all right. But you go there to boost yourself. It's a launch pad. And some people were like, I don't feel like jumping on the trampoline. I don't know.
Yeah. No, and with Corinne and I mean, me being 30 and doing my MBA a little bit later, right? We wanted to go and do the 1 year, get it done, chop, and then my whole focus this year was networking, applying for jobs, and then just interviewing. I mean, the position I ended up getting, it took 7 1-hour-long interviews and a 90-minute case study. So I met a lot of people.
Chop it up, you did, bro. I mean, there were so many different things that you did on campus. There were so many different aspects of, like, what my Notre Dame experience was like in comparison to what your Notre Dame experience was like. And we had that link. I had that Instagram post where I tried to link it together with our bike. Yeah. And so I want to share, like, that little story of that. Like, we're graduating. I can't believe it was 2 years ago already. Like, that crazy. That blows my, or I guess like a year ago, right? It's a year ago.
For you, yeah.
But 2 years ago, I go on Facebook Marketplace, and I see this orange Huffy bike, dude. This orange Huffy bike. Oh, that thing was clean, bro.
That's a nice looking bike. That's a nice looking Huffy you got there, boy.
It had the tread on the tires, dude. Orange is like my favorite color, so I was like, ooh, okay. I go on Facebook Marketplace, and this is still in the time of, like, everybody's still biking everywhere, and
right.
So you can't really find many good bikes. I saw it on there. It was like $40. It was $40.
Give me that.
And it was 5 miles away. So I hop into my Toyota Sequoia. I go down there, and I go 5 miles off of campus, and it's cornfields, dude. It's straight up. I think I was in Michigan, actually.
Yeah,
I went up
probably.
above, picked it up, took it for a little zoom for a little bit. And I was like, this is good. I ain't walking no more.
Dude. Yeah, I mean, living off campus too, it saved me, from drive. I mean, I drove some days, playing hockey in the mornings, but other than that, yeah, I mean, that bike, it was nice feeling that breeze in your hair. And honestly, it was kind of a good wake up. You have a cup of coffee, but then you hop on the bike for 10 minutes, it'll get you going. It'll get you going.
Gets the juices flowing. Except for in the summer hours, you might get a little
Oof,
hot on that bad boy though.
oof. I don't know how many times I like got to class and was just like, paper
Air,
towel, paper
air
towel.
dry, air dry.
Yeah,
Me, I'm like
exactly.
with my feet. I'm like, oh, these dogs have been barking, zooming through, just
Oh,
dodging a few scooters. They
speaking,
abolished scooters, right?
uh,
Oh,
speaking of dogs,
oh, Lorelai, come here,
since the last time
come here,
we
Lorelai.
can have Lorelai, this is Olive, the Cavapoo. She's 8 months
Olive,
old.
she's gotten
You
bigger, man. And she's
gotta
got
meet your
fluffy.
cousin.
Come here, Lorelai.
Well, dude, as of today, she's, officially becoming a woman, if you know what I mean.
Whoa, are you guys gonna get her spayed?
We have an appointment next week. Yeah.
Bro, let
I
her
look.
get little puppies. I'll take one, bro.
Oh my God, no way. No, I mean she would be great, but no way.
Well,
She's too much of a princess for that.
she's gnawing on a bone, but here we got
Look at
Lorelai.
that. Look. See?
She
Who's
and I've taught her to not get on the couch while she's eating, and so she's
Oh.
doing the right thing right now. But Lorelai, say hello. Oh, she
Hi,
ate that thing so
Lorelai.
fast.
Lorelai.
Oh, she's
Oh,
like, I'm
Carter,
going back to it.
she's exactly what I thought she'd look like, man. That's awesome.
Oh, bro, she is a charmer. Look, she's bringing it over. She's like, "What's up? What's up? I'm going to my bed."
I'll come and eat this by you. Yeah, we'll hang out.
Yeah, man.
Dude.
That's awesome. Little dog, a little dog segment.
Yeah, little pup segment. So now I'm walking her at like 7:30 in the mornings, and then I try to walk her after work every day. Like usually around 5:30 or 6.
Yeah,
So
but just we'll get to the DOG section. Let's continue on the DAWG section right there. But
dog.
bro, I took that bike everywhere. That bike, if you had like a tracking system on like the amount of loops and stuff I did around that campus and what you did,
Hundreds of miles.
hundreds of miles, dude. And I graduated last year. You moved up. I left the bike there for you, and you took it over. And I just wanted to say that was a real cool connector to see that like we both were able to use that, utilize it, enjoy it, and like
What?
yeah, a 20-minute
Yeah,
walk, a 30-minute walk turned into 5 minutes, man.
exactly. And when we were leaving, I put it out by the dumpster oh, by the dumpster, and this little kid, this little Hispanic kid next door was like outside playing with his little brother, and his little brother had like a little scooter bike with no pedals on it.
Yeah,
And I went over to him. I said, "Hey, do you want this bike? So you could ride with your brother." And he was just so happy. He was like, "Oh yes, thank you!" Like he went and like ran over and grabbed the bike and like immediately got on it. It was a little tall for him, but it was a nice little moment for sure.
and it gets passed on. There's something beautiful about that aspect of like it's traveled many miles and it'll go many more.
Dude, it was in good shape. I mean, the gears, had like I probably had 5 or 6 gears I could use, but the tires were fine. I put some air in them. I think it was nice.
Yeah, you got the bike seat on there. I was always looking at like online, being like, what kind of connector thing should I put on there? Can it fit a
Yeah, how
water
can I make it
bottle?
faster
I
with
was like, should I put
flashlights?
shocks on there? I put the front bars and the back bars? That would have been sick.
Oh, well, I mean, you get the mitten holders for your hands to put in too when it's super cold outside. Don't forget
Oh,
about those.
do you still have those?
Oof, I don't know. Maybe
Mom,
somewhere in the
skip this
packing.
part. Skip this part, Mom.
Yeah, skip it. Put them in the
Those were
garage.
elite, though. You looked like a transformer, dude. We were connected to the bike there.
Yeah, so true, bro. That is a cool kind of thing when you think back about it, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. So Yeah, dude, if you could just walk me through maybe, or I'll ask some directed questions just on Notre Dame as a whole. And we talk almost every single week and stuff, but life is
Yeah.
busy. I'm working, you're working on school and things like that. Can you give me like a few highlights of that Notre Dame experience that really stood out for you and changed the way you look at things?
Yeah, definitely. So I think like the first big thing that happened was Corinne, who's my fiance now, but a girlfriend at the time, when we moved down there, she had to come back up down here to Charlotte for like a week and a half, to pack some things up and then drive up. So when she had gotten up there, the first thing she saw when she pulled into the driveway was me with a boombox playing our song with our other dog at the time before she had passed. And when she got there, it was just like, all right, we're doing this thing. Like South Bend, here we are, right?
Yeah,
Um, and then, I had my orientation. I got to meet people. The summer was pretty intense, but it just was like that, like figuring out how to study again, figuring out how to do homework again, working with different teams for the different assignments and projects.
right.
Um, it was busy, but I got to play some golf and meet some good guys. It was a good summer. Then coming into the fall, football season was just awesome. We bought the season pass for the home games. We went to every game except the
Hey, it restarted on me. Sorry about that.
where should I go back to?
You were saying golf and stuff. Somebody was calling me.
Oh, no worries. Okay, so yeah, so got to play golf during the summer. Ended up joining a men's hockey league, so I did that for the full year round. Um, and then yeah, football season started, and that was just great because we had season tickets. We went to every game except for one. Just being in that section, I mean, it was obviously really loud and kind of like to sit sometimes. Everybody's standing the whole time, but it was just being a
Those
part of that
knees, bro.
whole.
Your knees.
Yeah, my badass knees. Um, but yeah, it was just like being part of that experience was just something else. It was really cool. And then I would say I had a couple of memorable classes where they would just bring in really interesting speakers or have us do interesting projects. Hold on. Of
Oh,
course, she takes this toy,
dude.
right? Um, so yeah, I mean, classes were really great. And then I think some of the things that really stood out to me during that time there in the spring, Corinne and I surprise engagement. We were in Chicago for that. And, coming back to campus and like letting everybody know and talking about that weekend, everyone was just so happy for us, right? And everybody just really seemed just interested and positive, and it was just kind of that Notre Dame, family kind of feel, which was really great. We ended up winning our one of our league championships for men's hockey, which was pretty cool. I got a picture with the big like
Yeah,
Stanley Cup-esque trophy and all that, which was pretty cool. And then graduation, man, graduation was really special. Mom and dad came up, as you know, and during the commencement, Dean Kremers, who's the dean of the business school, um, he like called out Dad and I and this other couple, and he was talking about how special Notre Dame is, how important the family aspect is. And so our dad in 19 was 86, I think, went
yeah.
to Notre Dame to get his MBA with another guy named Dave Sobek, and that was 38 years ago, I think now. And so during that time, I was like, going up on stage for my diploma. Dave's son was also getting an MBA in the analytics program. So he had us stand up, during the commencement, and he kind of shouted us out. I just turned back and I see Dad. Dad's just tearing up, so proud, so happy. I give him like one of those, and it was just like a perfect way to end just an incredible year, really, you know?
Dude, that's insane. You got the call out at the graduation. Like the hey, we're in front of your thousands of people are there and they took the moment to take that time. That's what the Notre Dame family is all about. Like that
Yeah,
moment, that's something you'll have with you forever, bro. That's special. You're not
I'll
enough,
never forget that.
dude. That's
Well,
epic.
and then the like my friends and the other students like coming up to Dad and I, giving us high fives, you know, being like, "That's the coolest thing ever." Yeah, blah blah blah. It was really nice, man. It was really nice.
Yeah, you don't see that very often in that connection. I mean, I think at Notre Dame you probably do see that more than a lot of other places. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
someone goes to Arizona State and their kid goes there. It's like, all right,
yeah. It's a little too big. A little
yeah.
too big for that. It doesn't have the feel of Notre Dame, you know.
I mean, triple, dude. 3 people in the Loesch family, Loesch boys. We only go to
Those
graduate
boys.
school. We don't need to. We don't need
Yeah.
to be that undergrad life.
Yeah, we're about that grad life, you know, that MBA life, that master's life.
Get that sweet taste, dude. Get that sweet, sweet taste.
Yeah. Do you
Cool.
have a master's, not just a bachelor's?
Uh,
Master's.
yes, of course, yes. I mean, dude, I told you this, and I'll tell you it again. I'm just so proud and so happy that we can share those moments. Like you know what Duncan gym hours are like. You know what the
Yeah.
football field feels like when you step on it. You know what it's like to go to the other sporting events that we win national championships in. Like,
Dude.
you know the buzz, dude.
Yeah. Sitting in Mendoza studying. Yeah, I just like sit here and think like, oh, this is what Carter was doing, you know, a year before, right?
Yeah. Like, and
It's
also
cool.
you know the hockey rink. Like, dude, I worked for the Zambonis, dude. I was a Zamboni assistant. I made
Yeah.
sure that ice was clean.
Well, you saw that card that the hockey people gave me. So I played on Wednesdays at noon sometimes, Tuesday
Yeah.
mornings at 6 a.m., and then Friday nights in the league. And my last game, like, you know, they put together this card for me, put $50 in it, and I wrote their names and nice little messages. And some people didn't know my name, but they called me Red Helmet because I had a red helmet, right? And like they signed them and had just positive notes for me and stuff. It was just, yeah, it was just really, really nice. I left there just, you know, sad about that aspect of that experience, just coming back here and not, you know, having that. But I will tell you, first men's league game back in Charlotte's at 9:40 on Sunday. So I'm
Oh,
back on my old squad, and we'll be getting the games back up.
the Growlers, eh?
Growlers, baby.
Are you better?
Well, I asked, so so apparently like more Northeasterners have moved down here. So the leagues have expanded and added more teams. And I don't think we've added maybe like one or two new people, but the rest are the same. So I wouldn't say that generally we've gotten better, but I'd say that I've definitely gotten better, which might make a difference, you know?
Heck yeah! You got any stats, bro? Any stats that came up from you record those?
You know, I thought about it, and just never got around to doing it. But I had a couple of hat tricks this season.
A lot of
Um,
pipes.
yeah, whenever Corinne would show up, I'd always have at least like one or two goals, you know, and
Yeah.
usually a penalty too, because I, you know, hit somebody when I shouldn't have. So, you know,
Hey, and you got to play on the main ice right there. That's sick.
yeah, dude. Yeah, funny story though. This one Tuesday morning, I was not like feeling well, I guess, after the skate. I think it was like when I was still getting back into shape or whatever. I woke up early. I think I had like something weird to eat too, like orange juice or something. And during the morning skate, I got so sick and like, you know, threw up, and there wasn't a trash can on the bench, so I just kind of went on the ground. And like, you know, after the practice or whatever, I had gone to like the guy that, you know, ran it, was like, hey, I puked back there, like blah blah blah. And before I was able to tell him, one of the cleaners went over there and was like, holy shit, like what is going on here, you know, all this stuff. And I had to like explain and apologize and say like I had told somebody, but you know, it's too late or whatever. And
Ayo, today's luck management episode is brought to you by Charm ND, or Charmed, if you'd like to call it, whatever you want to call it. It could be whatever you'd like. So Charm ND is an idea I came up with, and I'm super passionate about it. I've always wanted to hold a piece of Notre Dame in my hand. Highly customizable to whatever you want. And they have the grotto. They have the reflecting pond water from Hesburgh Library. They have 24 karat gold flakes, the dirt from Main Quad. They have stadium seat shavings from the old seats of Notre Dame, the Notre Dame Stadium football pellets of the enjoyed and loved football team. And if you want to make one customizable, I'm happy to work with you. Go Irish and go Charm ND. Now let's get back to the show.
It was kind of like one of those things where it's just like so embarrassing, but I put in like a card and like, $20 into a card, and like they bought her, I think, some sort of like, alcoholic beverage that she liked, the cleaning lady, and smoothed it over. But it was so funny, dude. I was just like so sick I couldn't help it. And there was no trash can. What was I supposed to do? Go on the ice?
They learned after that there's always a trash can.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, that's pretty epic, man. And you got the diploma, and now you're back in Charlotte. Tell me and tell the Luckies what's going on, what you're doing, what you're planning.
Yeah.
I mean, you've had the craziest year of getting engaged, getting this job. I mean,
in the past 12 months, I've left the job, started an MBA program, gotten engaged, and graduated with an MBA, and then got a new job. So 5 like pretty crazy things, all sort of life changing, right? That happened this past year, and I think I was just like ready for all of it. I think, it was just sort of time to kind of do these things that were sort of on my list and get them done. And so it just feels really good. I left my job at Lowe's and joined this program and had the support of my fiance Corinne, and it was really great to have her up there during this whole time. Coming home every day and having just her there and supporting me was just really, really great. But yeah, dude, all these things kind of coming together, and back in Charlotte now. We're home. We spent a week in Mexico after all that. It was kind of like a graduation celebration, then also like a thank you for braving the cold white north,
Yeah.
But so got back on Sunday, and then Monday I started my job. I'm working for Alvarez and Marsal in their private equity performance improvement practice, doing CFO services. So essentially my job is working with portfolio private equity firms who have a portfolio of companies. And these companies, they'll buy them and essentially they'll fix them up for 3, 4, 5 years and then sell them. So they hire us essentially to come in and either solve a liquidity problem and find cash, or build out an FP&A function, an organization, or a reporting function. So I get to do a lot of different things. I get to cover lots of different companies. I'll probably do a little bit of travel. And yeah, my goal here is really to just learn as much as I can and try to make myself a more well-rounded, consultant and professional. So, first day, got my laptop, haven't had anything to do all week except, compliance training and reading and all that. But, I think once I'm off the bench and once I get my training in, it's going to be pretty busy. So I'm going to enjoy this time until it starts getting crazy.
Dude, you definitely should. The time I get out of consulting, I said deuces consulting, went into sales. You end up finding your way into consulting. Just when I thought we were out, you pulled me right back in.
Yeah, so I was looking at jobs in going back to Lowe's. Actually, there was a finance role there in their pro business that was interesting. I had an offer from Compass Group doing some strategy consulting for them. But yeah, this year's been really tough for like my class to do the traditional consulting. Everyone was supposed to kind of have their jobs by October, November, and
Last year too.
these firms were, laying people off and everything. So what I did was I networked with a guy named Colin O'Toole, who is out of the A&M Chicago office. Ended up having like a 30-minute convo with him, scheduling 30 minutes, that ended up going about an hour and 15. I didn't even apply for the job until, they told me I got it. So it was an interesting process. And the last interview was with the practice's founder, named Rick Jenkins. Really cool guy. And I tell you what, I was like so nervous for it. I was like, it's the final guy, right? The final send off or whatever. But before the meeting, I just kind of relaxed, and we talked about hockey for the first 15 minutes, and so it went pretty smooth, obviously, because they hired me.
Yeah, dude. All right. I think that's a good transition to hockey. So, and even though we
Bro,
kind of talked about your actual experience in hockey, for everyone out there, our Loesch family are huge Rangers fans. The past 3 years have been a roller coaster like no other. But the Rangers came up short in the Eastern Conference Finals. The Florida Panthers, dude, they're suffocating, man. They knew what they were doing. They had Igor on his back at all moments. Bro, I wanna hear your official thoughts on the Rangers.
yeah. I mean, great season. Winning the President's Cup. I mean, it was just an incredible year to watch hockey. And I'm one of those psychos that like watch regular season hockey. Like
I
middle of
watched
the week,
I watched a good
West
amount.
Coast games at 10 o'clock. I'm that kind of guy. Um, but yeah, great start to the playoffs. I mean, rolled through Washington, had a tough series with Carolina,
First
and then
seven.
we get to Florida. I mean, they were just, I think, more physical, and they dominated in our zone, right? We couldn't, like, every time they put the puck in our zone, our defensemen would get it, and they'd have to move it so quickly because they were being attacked by the forecheck. They'd move it up to the boards, and then typically, you'd have a little time and space to make a play out of the zone. They didn't have any time and space because one of the centers would then cover off the wings or whatever it would be. And our guys like Panarin and Kreider and Zibanejad and they would just flip the puck out. So then they'd go back and get it, then attack again. And after the first two games, I realized that like every game could go to overtime. Every game could be the last goal wins, right?
Yeah.
And we just couldn't get that last goal, and it was horrible and sad. And I'm disappointed, but I've started to get over it. So thanks for bringing it back up again, Carter.
Hey, bro, we got to deal with it. We got to take it on. I mean, if this year was any indication of us doing it, I thought we could. If you hear water, that's Lorelai drinking water right now. She just killed that whole bully stick. But Panarin didn't seem to show up in that final series. I mean, he was great the first two. I mean, we were rocking and rolling. First 7 games we won, and then kind of like took
Yeah.
a couple off for the Hurricanes, and then I knew Florida was going to be tough, but being up 2-1 right there, we couldn't play at home. We actually played better away, which was one of those weird inclinations of like the way that we did it. But Kreider showed up a little bit. It's just like I think there was a stat they were talking on Spit and Chicklets about the like our defensemen. Like, just our guys aren't that big either. So, I mean, Fox is great. He's shifty. He knows what he's doing.
I think he was hurt, though.
Yeah, and these guys are just, like, dogging it the whole time. And oh, here's the little guy.
Well, did you see that Trouba played with a chunk of his ankle bone missing?
Jeez.
Yeah, he broke it, and there's a chunk floating around in his foot. And, like, yeah, it just came out yesterday or something like that.
Dude, you felt my elbow, right? I have like a chunk gone too from my elbow. Yeah, it's not fully there, but fun college times. But yeah, dude. I mean, I thought Laviolette was a good coach. I mean, at the end of the day, like the players gotta get the job done. So I don't know who we pick up. I would have loved to have like Patrick Kane this year. Like that may have been cool. Or
healthy. Yeah.
Yeah, some sort of dynamics there that made a big difference, but overall, it was a good season. Like it was amazing to see. Where do we go?
I heard this one thing that at the last away game, they were allowed to bring like wives and girlfriends, and the day before the game, they were out on the beach with them, like having a beach day. And I'm not. Everyone should have their own personal social life, but I'm going to get on a little hot take here and say they should be in their hotel room, not enjoying, the finer things in life, right? Focusing on hockey. All of that's going to be there when you get out. You can go to the beach, you can play golf, you could do whatever. But you're there to win. You're there to play hockey. Just play the game and shut out the noise for a little bit, right? I mean, can't
Yeah.
we just do that? I don't
Yeah.
know. I sound like a curmudgeon.
No, dude, I think you're right. I think at one point you gotta just push through to the end right there because at the end of the day, dude, you're gonna have what 3-4 months now. You could be doing this out on the beach right now.
You got a lot of time now. You got a lot of free time.
I mean, now moving forward, I mean, you have Florida versus Edmonton. It's like the furthest playoff.
They said that, yeah.
It's just like literally across the country. That's gonna be insane to see. I think Florida wins. Do you want Florida to win? Is because it's like, oh, we lost to the best, or
Bro. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. I've never. You lose, right? But I kind of want McDavid to get one.
yeah,
So I'm kind of rooting for them, but I feel like Florida, just from watching them play, they could play anyone's game. They could play anywhere. They're gonna be just fine, I think. And
yeah,
Skinner's a horrible goalie. I mean, he's played okay the last couple series, right? But he's a liability behind the net, I think. So they're gonna have a good
we
time
would
lighting
have
them up.
beaten the Oilers, dude. We would have beaten the Oilers. I think either of those teams that get through, Florida or New York, gets and beats Edmonton. But dang,
Yeah. Well, now we got to think about who we're going to get rid of. I think like Kako. I think he's out on his contract. Schneider's up for his contract. I think we got to keep him. Maybe get rid of Kako. Lafreniere and Shesterkin, they're coming up. I think next year for deals. Hopefully, we can sign them and not get too crazy.
We got to get those two back. Lafreniere
Yeah.
stepped up this year. Kako, dude, I know he's still young. He's like what, 24? But
yeah, but
dude,
it's over.
show up.
It's over.
He's got to go.
Yeah. I mean, when he protects the puck beneath the goal line, behind the net, or on the boards, he's great. But he just doesn't do anything else very well. So it's like, you can spin your wheels on the boards and everything, but then like getting the puck out front or getting shots, I mean, it's just he doesn't have the speed. I don't really know what his game is or how it fits into ours. So he's got to go.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it'll be some big decisions we got to make at the end of the day. But hey, good season. Hopefully, we figure it out next year. It's just to go that full grind and not get there because last year it was losing the first round. Okay, we got some business to take care of. The year before, the Eastern Conference Finals, same sort of thing. So I'm just like, ugh.
That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I saw a video though. He's like, don't give an F about any of your official sports teams because they don't care. But like when it comes to the Rangers and Notre Dame, I
can't help it.
I cannot.
I can't help it. What am I supposed to do? I can't help it.
I'm locked in. It's already over.
No. Yeah, I do sometimes wish I could be one of those people that just like don't watch TV or just don't watch sports. I have other things that interest me, like gardening or reading books about Civil War times or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But speaking of books, though, I read a really good Formula One book, and I think next time while you're up here, if I see you, I'll give it to you. It's called The Formula. It's kind of goes back and talks about the history of the sport and just all the major events that happened in it, essentially, and it'd be a good one for you to read. I think it's kind of interesting.
Word, I'm up there for Father's Day, so we'll in a few. Well, this will come out probably next week, but dude, for sure, you've been into the Formula One side of things. I mean, we got these NBA playoffs coming up, but that one, that's interesting. I want to go to Formula One out here in Austin.
You should. It's
thick.
I get so nerded out by it. It's an incredible sport. I think the physics of the aerodynamics is really cool, and the cars themselves are just pieces of machinery, beautiful pieces of machinery. And then you get like this drama in the paddock, right? The
Yeah.
drivers on the teams like want to beat each other, but they're friends, and like the team principals for the other teams are always trying to like steal the advantage of other cars and like designs, and it's just a spectacle, dude. And they call it the circus, essentially, right? It's the circus, and it's just like it's kind of crazy. But this weekend, I actually watched the Indy 500, I think it was. I don't know if I could get into two like racing series, but I might. I might. We'll see.
NASCAR, a little NASCAR living in Charlotte. You finally adopted it.
I don't know if I could do NASCAR, but
Oh,
maybe IndyCar. I could do IndyCar.
yeah. Those are cooler kind of cars at the end of the day.
Yeah. I think the NASCAR it's cool, but it's just the stock car. What's interesting for Formula One is that they get handed a book of rules every 5, 10 years or whatever to the teams, and then they start from a piece of paper, right? Building something completely new. And whereas stock car, Formula or NASCAR, it's like everyone has kind of the same car essentially.
Yeah.
It's a totally different type of racing. So
They're able to build it out the way that they want. That's pretty sick.
yeah.
If you could, outside of hockey, what sport would you go pro in? Right now.
Ooh,
Like,
right now?
yeah, like just depending on what you're enjoying, things like that. Like, would you go Formula One? Would you
Yeah,
go? Yeah,
for sure.
you think
For
you
sure.
push, push.
Push. Yeah, I mean, dude, there's only 20 drivers in the world that do it, right? And they have millions of people that watch the sport, but like the different divisions and the levels and like how hard it is to get to that level and be that guy in the car, that would be really cool.
Yeah, I
What
think
about you?
dude, I might go pro in like tennis right now. I know pickleball's
Hey,
at its moment, but dude, there's something so cool about a guy being on a tennis court and just tearing it
classic.
up. I just saw that movie Challengers too. Have you
Ooh,
seen that?
what's that? No.
It's with Zendaya, and she's like, it's like a love triangle between these two guys. One guy is like a pro that's won a ton of tournaments that used to play doubles with this other guy, and the one guy's lost all of his confidence, and he ends up playing in a challenger match, which to get his confidence back, but it's the final, and it's against his like old teammate that had
Oh,
a
damn.
lot of crazy stuff involved with it, and
Is that
so
Netflix?
yeah. Actually, I think it just came out a little while ago. I don't know where it's out, but you guys should watch that movie. It's a good one. But dude, just like being out on the tennis court, you kind of wear some swaggy clothes.
Yeah, dude. Comfy, Lulus, maybe you slide a little bit, get into the ball.
Yeah, and I've been kind of back into it because I play a lot of ping pong at work, but also I've been doing a ton of pickleball over a lifetime since I joined over
Nice.
here. And so you just get into the sport, dude. You start getting your strokes together. You're like, I could do this. I could do anything.
Yeah. Well, you know us. I mean, all that summer or tennis we played growing up translates over.
Dude,
Yeah.
I know. Once I get back to Charlotte, man, we should join a league. We should do some doubles. Ugh.
We should. Well, so I was even thinking about, so there's like, I'm in the C1 division, right, in hockey. And the B division apparently needed guys. So I was thinking, oh, maybe I like skate twice a week. So if I end up doing that, I don't know if I'll be able to play tennis, but I'll fit it in. I like myself a nice competitive game.
Or like the Wednesday tennis nights. We go hit a little bit at Carmel and stuff. That's good vibes.
Yeah,
Always good
that'd be
vibes.
good. So you coming home for sure?
Yeah, I'll be home in December. Everybody, yeah, I guess this is an official announcement. I'll be coming back. Well, we'll see with work, but I'll be coming back in December.
Let's go.
Got the Loesch family all in Charlotte. Got some big things down the pipeline. Hopefully, maybe even buy a house. See what that's
Hey,
like. We're working the ideas and all that stuff.
give Lorelai a nice yard to run around in.
Yeah, dude. It's 98 degrees today here. Peak
Bro.
humidity, dude. Like you can feel the water in the air. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Bro.
I don't know. Only 3 more months of that, Carter. So
Only, yeah, right. we're just getting started. Dude, a couple weeks ago, we had a tornado. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like, in Charlotte, you don't really get that. You don't get that up in Indiana or anything like that. And, bro, power was only out for 3 hours for me, but I was just sitting there watching the storm. The winds were insane. The amount of trees that fell, people still don't have power in some places. Like, who do you talk to, dude? You don't even go to, like, hey, government, I have to throw away $300 worth of food. Like, nobody gives a crap about it. Nobody cares.
So,
like, and then
one of the
it's 92 degrees, so people don't have air conditioning. It's just like, how do people survive this way?
Yeah, dude. So one of the guys in my MBA program, his wife was working. She created a company essentially that did like inclement weather or severe weather insurance. So for people in rural areas who don't have money to restock their fridge or refill their propane tank or whatever, you could purchase this insurance and then be reimbursed for that type of thing. But I lost power here. I guess it was Wednesday or Tuesday night. And dude, I'll tell you what, like we was downstairs and like randomly, I mean, lots of lightning, lots of thunder. Randomly, like there's like I guess a little seam in the window downstairs. Water was just pouring into the house, and I'm like in the kitchen, like where the hell did this come from? Like I run over there, I'm like on the floor wiping everything up, stuff paper towels in it to stop it from going. It was a crisis, bro. There was hail too. I mean, lucky I made it out alive.
Dude, I'm glad you're still here, man. That's why, hey, you can still get on the pod. I'm glad you're back, bro. Hey,
Always, bro.
Yeah, dude. You kind of forget Mother Nature, man.
Mother Nature, Poseidon.
Sure, it's a crazy, crazy thing. I mean, speaking of Mother Nature, travel and stuff like that, just like your life. I know you did this trip and stuff. You went to Mexico and stuff. You got anything fun plans for the summer coming up? What do you like? What's on the horizon, bro?
Yeah. So, first thing, I guess we don't have any like planned trips this summer that I can think of off the top of my head. We want to go up to New York at some point to see Aunt Cynthia and Uncle Tony, the Bozes out in Long Island. So we're trying to think of like maybe a time that works while they're there, where Corinne is working in New York, and we could just do kind of like a weekend thing.
Yeah.
And then we need to, plan our wedding day. Essentially, we're thinking about doing an elopement somewhere, maybe in Chicago, and so that's maybe sometime in September. But other than that, with me starting a new job, I kind of need to like build up some vacation time, and get like FaceTime and stuff before we go, taking another big vacation. But what about you?
Chicago, bro, for the wedding? Dang, dude.
Special place for us,
Oh, for sure, dude. I mean, you guys grew into that love right there. That's really, really cool to see, man.
Yeah.
Me, coming home, as you know, a couple weeks, and then don't really know as of yet. I got Taylor Swift tickets to Munich, July 28th. If anybody, if anybody needs tickets, otherwise I might just have to send it.
Just go to Munich for a Taylor Swift tour. That's hilarious.
Yeah, why
not? Way up to Berlin, maybe your old stomping ground.
Yeah, get up there, hit a club or two.
Oh, Price Müller.
About Block, dude. Oh, that place. Good memories. I loved taking you out there, and when we went to Prague for your birthday and stuff, those were always great times.
So awesome. One of the best trip ever. Also, let's just say that.
Yeah, straight up, man. So, I mean, bro, this was a Bro Dog episode. Just catching up, seeing how you're doing, bro. Seeing how life is, and it's cool to kind of give that little glimpse of what our life is like, and cool to have you. And this is an episode that could probably stay up there for a little while.
And, for anyone who doesn't know, we had to take the other episode off because I had submitted an application to Notre Dame, and our mother, who is a little extra conservative, didn't think that thought that the admissions committee would use it as part of my application. So This one's a little more PG, I think, though.
It was a fire episode, dude.
It was.
I might have to release that on top of
The
this.
lost episode. Episode 13.
The lost episode. Maybe that'll be number 100, dude. I think you're 94 or you're 90. You might be 93 right now. Born in 92. Let's go.
Bring me back on when it's the 100, bro. I'll call in.
Yeah, man. I got to get Corinne on here and everything, but
Yeah.
this is awesome.
We'll come on as a couple next time.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
so happy that you're doing this and doing well, Carter. And we love that you're keeping it alive. So
Thanks,
proud of
man. Well, as always, you can find us on Apple, Spotify. You can look at our pretty faces on YouTube. But as always, keep living the luck management lifestyle. Peace.
Peace.